Everybody, welcome back. Today we're gonna do Rune versus Silver Surfer by Malibu Comics and Marvel and Marvel Comics. What is Malibu? Maybe you want to know. But Malibu was once a company that Marvel bought because there was talent there, and they used their characters and Marvel characters to do a crossover, and it created the Ultraverse. And the Ultraverse, in my opinion, was really fun. I mean, there was a couple of series that with great, villains and heroes doing stuff with Marvel talent and their own talent on board. I thought it was great. It was a darker universe, but then somehow the sales wasn't good enough through the years, and then Malibu went bankrupt or something, or so the old talent just merged with Marvel, and Malibu doesn't exist anymore, as far as I know. So that's a shame. But I had some comics with them. I believe I have all of them. I'm not entirely sure, but I have a lot of them. And I bought this recently because this is one that I haven't in my possession. This is basically more a crossover. What happens in the Ultraverse? I mean, there's a creature called Rune. He's a vampire, cosmic vampire, comes from another dimension. And he acquired or wants to acquire the 6 Infinity Stones. So, and that's what the story is about. But unfortunately, this is the cover of Barry Winsor Smith, which is actually great. It's not the art, but this is a surprise, and I'm going to show you that a little bit later, because this is a something two in one, two comics in one. But I'm going to explain that later. So first, let's dive in. We're going to get introduced. Well, by the way, this is the writer. Chris Ullman Dandenko, Henry Flynn is the artist, and Mark McKenna is the inks. So we see here four, and Mantra, I believe, she is from the Ultraverse, and we get introduced by Rune. Rune has a necklace called the Star Stones, and it can sense power, and he is an energy vampire, by the way, also a normal vampire, but mostly an energy vampire. He can absorb or acquire power from other beings. So what he's going to do, he's going to attack four. Then he, for defense himself, he gets transported through a portal to Earth. And Rune discovered that this Earth is filled with super beings that when he feasts on them, he gets their power. Well, not their power, but just he gets stronger, etc. He's getting more invincible. So he disguises himself as four. There's a villain going on. He kills the villain. He absorbs his life force, and then, as you can see here, which is really cool, it reminds me a little bit of Gene Colan. This part here, a little bit. And then he, through the stones that he has, through the necklace, he senses there's more power somewhere, and he sends the Infinity Stones. So he's going to search for the Infinity Stones, and the first his victim is Gamora. He enthralls them with his I don't know, hypnotism or something, and she reveals that there's an island with the Infinity Watch, with Maxim, Pip the Troll, Gamora, of course, Adam Warlock, and Moondragon. And do I miss? Let me double check. This is Maxim. So, even Thanos. Okay, cool. Thanos isn't part of the pack. Well, who am I? It doesn't matter. And of course, Drax. So he acquires the Time Stone. He commands the Time Stone to stop time. And then he approaches Adam Warlock, but he senses that Adam Warlock is he's an unusual being. There's something off with him. So he tries to grab the stone, but then he gets transported into the Soul World, and then he's going to battle Adam Warlock. And Adam Warlock is basically at the winning side, he's winning the battle, but then he wants to take away the stones from Rune. But then something happens. The Soul's gem that has Adam Warlock in his head, on his head here, is speaking. It means that he's going to betray him. So because he said, basically the stone wants to possess this creature because he has been waiting for this creature for a very long time because he come from another dimension. So basically the the soul stone wants to go into the other dimension because there is some power there and he wants to acquire that. So he's going to use Rune as a vehicle to possess him and go back to his universe and rule the universe or something, becoming a god basically. But Rune doesn't want to do that because he sensed power here on this dimension. So there's a struggle, and then Silver Surfer comes along, and they are going to battle. But there is where I stop, and why? Because, like I said, there are two comics in one, and that battle continues later here. Well, on the other side. So as you can see here, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip it, and we have this. Silver Surfer versus Rune and Death Urge. And we have the Living Tribunal. So what is happening here? So there's a little bit of a prequel. We see here, oh, by the way, it's drawn by the famous, incredibly John Buscema. Glenn Hurtling is the writer and Bill Anderson is the inker. So Silver Surfer's getting, not so much of attack, but there's some energy things around him, and he's very suspicious. Time has stopped. He doesn't know why. And then he's getting called forward by the Living Tribunal. And the Living Tribunal explains there is an energy vampire that, has acquired the Infinity Stones, and he wants that, Silver Surfer to stop him. But the Silver Surfer doesn't want to do it because he's been, janked around along. With Galactus, he's been free of Galactus, and now he feels like a slave again. But the Living Tribunal disappears, and he says, "Well, only you can do it because I cannot do it because he has free heads, and the free heads needs to be in agreement, and if they are not, cannot, do anything. Basically, they cannot interfere." And the Living Tribunal explains basically there is also a Chaos agent that wants to have the stones, which is basically Death Urge here. So he's going to Earth. He sees that Earth is standing still, and he makes not so much of a joke, but he referenced the day the Earth stood still. So that's a nice movie reference. So he sees Death Urge and the rest of the Infinity Watch battling him, but he sees that he is standing still as well. But then we see this. Hey, how can it be? Death Urge possibly maybe is outside time. I'm not entirely sure, but he's an agent of chaos. He possesses dark force, and he's going to battle Silver Surfer. And he basically, listen, I'm gonna go find the stones. You're not gonna follow me here. I'm gonna pin your board. Basically, goodbye. So he goes into space, but Silver Surfer as the great superhero. Look at the visuals, really cool, really fantastic, beautiful colors. So he struggles to get the spear loose. He managed to do that because he uses his will to do that because his will is indomitable. And then spear, falls apart into dust. So he's gonna follow Death Urge. He's battling him, and let me double check. Skip a few pages. Basically, one of his powers of Death Urge is make people weak. Give them more doubt, sapping their will. So that is what he's gonna do with Silver Surfer. He going back to his past, and that he being a herald of Galactus, going through planets so that Galactus eat the planets, and then he feels no remorse here. But basically, Silver Surfer explains that Galactus was responsible for him not feeling. He just switched it off so that he doesn't feel guilty, about killing planets and, basically doing genocide or something. But now Silver Surfer is normal again. He feels guilty, and of course, through sheer will, he defeats Death Urge. Death Urge disappears, but then we see Rune on the other side. He's struggling to command or get possession of the Soul Stone. So they're going to battle, and what Silver Surfer is going to do, he blasts his hand into, well, he just blasted his hand apart. Means that the Soul Stones and the Infinity Stones fall into a portal somewhere else. I mean, I believe it goes to the dimension to where Rune is coming from. And basically, that's the end of the book, because he feels guilty that, again, so the Living Tribunal comes and he said, listen, you did a great job, but Silver Surfer explained, said, well, the stones are gone. Well, there's other plans set in motion, and that continues, of course, into another comic. But basically, time is running again, because he just stopped the villain that stopped time, Rune. And yeah, that's it. That's the end. It says here that he says, upon stripping the vampire of the time gem before he escaped, you terminated its effects, stopping time. So time is normal again. As for the other 5 stones, worry not, if it's unlikely that the creature will score the corners of the universe to find them all. And basically, like I said, it continues into the other comics that we see here. So this is a preview of what Malibu Comics actually is, of comics that's coming out. You have the Ultraverse versus Avengers, Nightman, Lord Pumpkin, Hardcore with Loki, when Loki was actually cool instead of a pussy like he is now. Rune again, of course. We have Godwheel and a lot of other comics as well. I really enjoyed this one. I mean, this, like I said, is 2-in-1 comics, and I also like the fact that they are, flipping the book like this. That's really coolly done. And basically, this is the first, and then have we the prequel. Well, no, this is the prequel, and this is the continuation with Silver Surfer, and yeah, with great art by, of course, Mishima. Love him. Yeah, and I only paid $2 for it, so that's a steal. Okay, guys, that's it for the review. Hope you like it. If you're not familiar with Malibu Comics, there's a lot of on the internet or maybe your local comic shop where you can find it. I personally think it's great stuff. It's different. And, that was a time when Marvel still produced great comics, in my opinion, of course. I said that a lot, but hey, it's true for me. I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel and like the video and share the video. Why? Because, I want to have more eyes on my channel, and yeah, I can reach more people and, share great comics and talk about great comics. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye.